Hey guys, it's Wednesday again. Today there's no introduction because I'm kind of getting used to this. I'm not nervous anymore, so welcome to the Willard Kachere experience. For those returning, thank you for tuning in again. For those that are new, welcome to, I already said it, the Willard Kachere experience. This is basically where I just talk about my life, and we have as the guest for the day. We talk about their life experiences and, just kind of put it together and see how we go from there. And today the topic is parenting. I've got my right hand man here, SHALdo. SHALdo, welcome to the show. This is not a show. I don't know why I said show, but yeah, man. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when we talk about parenting, parents?
Amina Baba.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think of my mother. I think of my father. Yeah.
I think the first word that comes to mind for me is love. Yeah, that's it. When I think of parenting, I just think love. But I mean, hey, look, I don't want to say stupid enough, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I wouldn't be stupid enough to know that, some people don't even like their parents at all, or also be oblivious to the fact that some people don't even know their moms, their dads, due to different circumstances. And if you're in that situation, it's very unfortunate. And I do sympathize with you. I'm sorry that you didn't get to know your parents, or for whatever reason. But I feel like my parents were a big part of my upbringing. Obviously, they raised me. I was raised by both parents, fortunately. And
are you the firstborn in your family?
Nah, bro, I'm the second.
So you had it easy, man.
The second. Technically,
yeah, you're not. Where am I even?
Exactly. Why are you even asking?
Yeah.
For a right hand man, he really does a bad job. You know that? So I've got an older sister, but somebody explained this.
The thing is, like you treat your older sister as if she's younger than you.
Yeah.
Because which is why it gets confusing sometimes.
Well, first of all, I don't treat her like she's younger than me.
You do,
right? She just respects me a little bit more than she should, so I end up looking older.
She respects you, or you sort of boss around?
I don't boss nobody around, bro.
In the space.
Do you know Lillian? Do you know Lillian probably?
Okay.
Bro, no, you don't.
Okay.
But So technically in the Shona culture, I'm the eldest son, because crazy enough, so in the Shona culture, the firstborn boy.
I'm listening.
Wait,
Go on.
I'm still going. So the firstborn, see, now I lost my
firstborn child. Yeah.
No, not the firstborn child.
Firstborn son.
The firstborn son, exactly, from the official wife is basically heir to the throne. That's the Shona. That's Shona culture. Because I've got a half brother.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I always get confused. What step brother is? Yeah. Nah. Okay, so step brother. Somebody explain this to me. Okay. Yes. So if one of your parents goes and has a kid with someone else, right?
Yeah.
That's your half brother.
Yes.
That's your half brother or sister. And then if your parent ends up with someone else, but they don't have kids of their own, those are your step.
And there's no blood relation.
There's no blood relation. Those are step. Exactly. I got this. So yeah, I've got a half brother, but apparently I'm still heir to the throne. So yes. So technically I'm the firstborn son.
Yeah.
But I'm second to my dad because there's my older brother, my older sister, and then me, and then I've got a little brother, and then a little sister. Yeah, that's where we're at. And that's as far as we'll go for today. I don't want to spill too much, but it's a crazy thing because I literally grew up with my half brother. Like that's my brother. That's not my half brother. That's my brother.
He's your brother.
That's my brother. Like I grew up with him. Although I'll tell you a funny story though. So when we're young. When we're younger, right? So my parents always wanted us to get used to, just doing chores and whatever else, yeah?
Yeah.
So what actually happened was we were given garden chores that day, and we had to dig this little bed, and then because we wanted to put tomatoes, or was it spinach in there? I don't know. I forgot. But what actually then happened is, for whatever reason, we were digging so close to each other. And I even said to my half brother at some point, you're going to hit me with that thing.
Did he hit you with
right?
the thing?
And then don't be
Okay,
forward.
sorry.
I'm telling a story.
Okay.
So we're working. So my dad used to reward us. He used to give us money for ice cream, and sausage rolls were a thing in my family. Like, we used to call it today's special.
Yeah.
So every day we used to get money, and we used to go and buy today's special, which was a sausage roll from this one shop.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing whatever we're doing, and at some point, I felt it happen before it happened. And I know it wasn't intentional, but my brother literally dug into my head.
Yeah.
Boom! Like right there, just cut.
Yeah.
And I was bleeding, and my parents were not home, so I was bleeding so much. The maid tried to take me to the doctor, because it was literally a walking distance from home. It was so close. It was the next street. Went to the doctor, and you know what they said to me? They said, you need an appointment. And I am bleeding. And then I had to go back home. I called my mom, I called my dad. I was like, guys, I'm bleeding. My brother just smacked me in the head.
I'm dying.
with a spade. It was crazy, yeah. But I ended up getting stitches. Yeah, but I still have the scar till now.
It doesn't show. I was actually trying to...
No, it doesn't show, but then sometimes when it's really cold or there's some change of weather, like, it just gets really itchy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's always been my reminder of my brother.
Fun memories, eh? The amazing memories.
That's not the only one. Like, I've got memories. My older sister, I remember she
Is it pain still?
Bro, let me tell you what happened. So she went to school. Alright, so I got new cars. I got new dinkies. So dinkies, matchboxes.
What?
Okay, yes. Okay, let me educate you. So matchboxes, these little cars that, like cars, like little toy cars, like almost like collectibles.
Like the hot rods.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I had these matchboxes, and my parents got me these little cars and everything. So, and then I think I didn't have Action Men when I was younger. I don't know what I got, but my sister took whatever toy it was to school.
Yeah.
So I then didn't go to school that day. I lied to my parents that I was sick. So I stayed at home and I wanted to play with my toys.
Yeah.
But now when I wanted to play with my toys, they were not there. So what ended up happening was, so now I'm mad, and I knew my sister had taken them to school because she kept on saying, oh no, these are nice, whatever.
Yeah.
La-di-da-di-la. So, yeah. So I went into a room, and then she had just gotten new Barbie dolls. I took all the heads off the Barbie dolls.
Ruthless. Absolutely ruthless.
I took the heads off, I took the arms off, the legs off, and I just left them there. But I took the heads with me and I put them in my room. My sister comes back from school. She sees that, oh my god, like, my Barbie dolls are just,
And I bet she had your toy.
So she had my toys.
Okay.
But she took my toys.
No, but they were in good condition. She
That
didn't
doesn't matter.
behead any of your toys.
That doesn't matter. So what actually ended up happening was, so now we're fighting and everything. So at that point, my sister, yeah, she was definitely stronger than me then.
Yeah.
I think she was in grade 2. And I was still in preschool. It was my last year in preschool.
Yeah.
And then now we're fighting, and I'm saying to her, like, why did you take my toys to school? She's like, oh, I don't have it. So I managed to open her bag, and I found my toy in there. And she's like, fine, now you've got your toy. Where the heads to my Barbie dolls? I'm like, I'm not giving them to you. And then I went and I got them, and then I put them in her face and everything, and I tried to hide them behind my back. Bro, she took my arm and she was trying to get, at that point, I don't even know where the strength came from. I was holding the heads in my hands and everything,
yeah.
But most of them were in one hand. And then, so because I wouldn't let go, she bit me. You see the scar over here? That's my older sister. She bit me.
You deserve that though. You deserve that.
You know what? Tell me something that your sibling has ever done to you. Like,
I mean, for me it's different because I'm the firstborn in a family of 3. So
okay,
I'm substitute parent. I have to let a lot of things pass.
Alright, cool.
Number 1 is like okay, moving along.
Yeah, it's crazy because now I'm in that position where I think grade 6, that's when my sister tried to beat me up again, and then she realized, not anymore. I think from there it was like, okay, so there was almost like a power struggle. So who do we listen to? Because if she tells me something, I might just say to her, look, bruh, I will smack you. So don't be trying to tell me to do stuff. But yeah, I think the one thing that my parents always wanted was for us to be all close, like the siblings, like the kids. They wanted us to be, my mom especially, she just wanted us to be so close. Dad was forever working, so dad was never really there. Dad was just, providing. I feel like dad was the money guy and mom was just doing most of the parenting, and then
I feel like it's like that in a lot of homes with, within our context and some.
Yeah, I just don't want to be like that, because I mean, most of the stuff that I knew, I was taught by mom. But I love the way mom raised us, because so by the time you get to grade 6 in my house, you're able to cook sadza, you're able to wash your own clothes, do your ironing, do the bed like properly. She taught us so many different methods of, doing up your bed and everything, which becomes a problem when you're in a relationship now, because like, look, you're not gonna cook something that,
I think it's not a problem. It's just like, you better come ready.
Yeah, you better come ready, because like if you cook disgusting food for me, I'm gonna go and cook it. People say that is rude, but if you do the bed and you don't do it properly, like I'm gonna redo the bed. Someone said to me that that's very rude. I don't know, but I'm gonna redo the bed, to be honest. I'm reading on the bed again. So so by the time you get to grade 6, you are fully equipped. All the duties that are for girls, in quotes, you can do now. And all the duties that are for guys, all the girls can do. So we can all do everything. I can garden, I can do everything. So it's kind of crazy, but I love the way mom, the way mom raised us. And she said it's in preparation. In case one day you guys wake up and we're not there anymore and someone else has to take care of you. I don't want you guys to be a burden to anyone. I don't want you. So even like eating certain things. Yeah. As long as it didn't make you throw up, you were eating it at my house. That's how I grew up. Yeah. It was, you're eating mupora, you're eating makrimbi.
Which doesn't got it.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, you're eating makrimbi, you're eating everything. And mom would definitely make some good steak and whatever. And she'd be like, okay, sadza and veggies first, meat after. Because we were kind of spoiled also. We were kind of spoiled. Dad would just come home, he's got chocolates, he's got, all this stuff, marshmallows, and then he's just like, yo, there. Yeah. Mom would take all that.
I think mothers are always the balance in a lot of regards.
Yeah, they balance it out. Because now when I look at it, now I love my quimbi. Yeah. And, I love my guru and all those kind of things. And it's like, back in the day, mom would be like, eat your data, black, eat woo. Nah, this stuff looks like snot. I'm not eating that, but like now I'm there, like if I was to be put in a situation where I don't have, like I'm now all grown up and everything, and I can't afford certain things. Yeah. I'm not gonna trip if I eat sadza and veggies only. Yeah. Because I was groomed to adjust to any situation. I think, kudos to my mom, did such a great job. Like, I eat anything and everything. I don't believe I'm allergic to anything, so I can eat. I go kumusha, I go anywhere, and someone says to me, oh, no, sorry, we know you guys are used to eating A, B, C, D, but we've got this. I'm like, yo, are you kidding? Bring it on. Yeah. Bojakuti, let's do it. Mom did a great job. Dad told me quite a few things, but not much that I particularly remember, to be honest. I think it was just in passing. But I definitely got the business side of things from Dad. Dad was, always, he was the businessman. So when I grow up, every time I used to be asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm like, I want to be a businessman. Yeah. Because I'd seen Dad hustle. But Dad, I think I definitely got my work ethic from both Mom and Dad, but just from watching Dad, go out, being a civil servant, being able to send me to, private schools all my life, being able to send me to Australia, that was a big thing for me. For someone who was getting the same money, at some point I remember saying to my friends, guys, I feel like my parents work so hard, and I don't give them enough credit, because every time we used to go to Maestro, which is, so guys, Maestro is like it's not a club, it's like a...
Maestro better pay for this, man.
It's like a cocktail...
They better pay for this.
Cocktail bar or something like that, whatever it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I used to say to my friends, do you know that really, on a casual Thursday night, I actually spend my dad's salary. Yeah, that's how much civil, like, that's how little civil servants get paid. You know, so for him to be able to send me to Australia, whatever, that was really, you know, like, that was actually a lot.
You know, I just want to touch on that because it's something I say quite a lot as well. I feel Zimbabwean parents are superheroes in a lot of regards. There's certain things you start to understand once you've got bills as well. You're like, damn.
Yeah, bro.
How do they make it work?
They just made it work, bro.
They make it work. So you think school, you're thinking just like taking care of these. Like when I look at it, I never lacked anything. I had everything I needed.
That's the thing.
Same goes for my siblings. Just like, yo, how within this circumstance, with everything going on, they just made it work.
Yeah, they did.
So like, you know, just kudos to everyone who's a parent. It's not easy, you know, like, yeah, big ups to you.
Yeah, you know, I can't wait to be a parent. I
can wait on that.
I can't wait. I love kids, bro. I don't know why. And the funny thing is, kids love me.
Yeah.
There'll be the one kid who's refusing. Everybody doesn't want to get out of his mama's hands. I get there and I pick up the kid. Except for, there's only one kid that's ever rejected me so many times. My sister's son. My nephew's not having that. If you're not the first face he sees in the morning when he wakes up, bro, it's not happening.
He probably knows your shenanigans, man.
What do you mean? I think it's because I'm not yellow. My sister's yellow. Like, my sister's yellow. Hey, but the maid is darker than me. Come on. I guess that's just trust, man. But like, yeah, my nephew, my mom was telling me, if my nephew wakes up and you're the first face he sees, if he doesn't see his mom, you guys are good. You guys are good.
Yeah.
You will, But I don't know.
So if you had a child today, you're good to go.
I'm good to go, bro. Like I'm good to go. I can make it work. The same way my parents made it work, I can make it work. I can give at this point I can give my son or my daughter.
And I'm not talking like money and whatnot, It's like no.
I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to be like my dad. You know, no disrespect to dad. He did what he had to do.
Shots fired.
No. Dad did what he had to do, but then now I've figured out ways to work smarter, not harder. I make money in a more calm way. Yeah. You know, I've got, you know, I can almost say, like, even if I'm not working, I've got people that are working for me that are making that money. So I've got time. That's the whole point. Yeah. See, like, people thought, like, you know, like that whole, you know, team no sleep thing I used to do back in the day, and even till now, like, people think that. Yeah, you know,
please, let's. I thought we were over that.
No. Yeah. You know, like
5 hours of sleep minimum, please.
No,
please.
We're not there yet. When I get to a stage where I can sleep 5 hours,
that are 2 hours, you know,
but I've been working for the past, like, over 7 years now. I've barely been sleeping. I've been working on my craft and everything. So, you know, I'm getting to that point where now I've got time. You know, I make just enough to survive without having to be hands-on. Just enough to survive, and that would be for me and my wife and kids. I think I make enough to survive. So, yeah, that's for now. Yeah. So, but we're gonna get to a point where I don't even need to work. I don't even need to work to make money because I'm making money whilst I'm sleeping. At that point now, you know, that's that financial freedom, you know. But I make enough to be able to have kids and be there for them. Yeah. I'm gonna have a camera in my kids' faces. Wow. Everywhere my kid goes, they'll have a hat with a GoPro or whatever it is. I don't know what is gonna happen.
One of those parents.
I'm gonna record everything. Yeah. Because for me, I'll tell you this, my parents did a great job and everything, but where they lacked, for me, what was most important to me was their support. Right? So their support. So I'm saying be there for my games. I was a sportsman. I won trophies every single Earth Day from grade 1 all the way through to grade 7. Yeah. I don't think dad came for 1 or 2 races. I remember seeing my dad when I was about to run 100 meters. I remember seeing my dad by the sideline. I ran like I never did before.
Yeah.
You know, just to make him proud. You know, mom always got the excuse because I just used to think, you know, mom is not interested in sport. Mom is already doing what she's doing at home. So that's cool. But yeah, for me, I wanted them there and they couldn't because they had to work and everything. But also I think it's also our culture. Our culture doesn't cultivate that. You know, I don't think our culture cultivates that because it's so weird. Like I want to hug my dad. I want to say, Dad, I love you. But I can't. It's weird. It's weird. That's the most weird thing. Saying, Dad, I love you. I can say it in a text, yes. Because I said the text and then I looked to the side. Yeah. But then, you know, I can't. When I see him, I don't know if I should give him a handshake or should I hug him. I can't.
Yeah,
it's weird.
That.
But I want to have that close relationship with my parents like that. With my mom, now we're all huggy. It's better.
Yeah.
But if my mom was to kiss me today, I'd be like, what? Nah. I don't know. What are your parents like?
I was about to ask you a question. It's a bit different for me. I think a bit similar with my dad. But I'm a very affectionate person.
Okay.
And I'm like, screw you anyway. You know? I'm gonna hug you.
I'm gonna hug you anyway.
I'm gonna hug you anyway. So like, yeah, I always remember there's a day I said to my mom, I love you, Ma. And she said, thank you. She said, Mums. I said, I love you.
I love you.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very affectionate especially with my mom. Yeah, I mean, I give her kisses on the cheek. She's my girl. She's my big homie.
That's the big homie.
You know?
I like that.
Dada is a little different. I think I definitely get a lot of my creativity comes from my dad.
Okay.
So mom is very affectionate, very compassionate, and you know, I get a lot of that from her. Mm-hmm. Dada, it's always been it's I would say the same way I would have like vibes with my close friends. That's what it's like with my dad. My dad has always been like since I'll tell you this. My dad is probably the one person who like gets me, but also the one person who can really tick me off. Like when we're good, we're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, when things go south, it's you know, and I think that's the dynamic of relationships. It's growing up, you get to learn certain things. You realize, you know, it's they're also figuring out certain things, you know, and you make your own mistakes, and you're like, but damn, you know, I used to be a little too hard on my dad. I used to be a little too hard on the parents.
Yeah, but that one statement, they always like, "Handi urukura."
Yeah.
Meaning, you know, you're growing up, you're gonna see these things, you know. But there's certain things that my parents have done that I will never do. And I've learned from them. I will never do that. I would never do that kind of stuff. Yes, I'm all grown up, and I'm good to know. Like, no, I ain't doing that.
Yeah,
because it didn't have to be done.
Yeah,
you guys did it. You guys thought it was a good excuse for you guys, but no. We don't work like that.
I think there's a lot of that for me as well, and it's man, I hope my parents will not listen to this podcast.
I'm gonna make sure I send your mama this one.
Those videos, those visits back home will be awkward. But I must agree, because like for me, I wasn't big on sport, but I was heavily involved in like, you know, societies, clubs, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And much like you want to see your parents there. But I think for me, in addition to that, it's I don't want you to support me because I'm just doing it. I want you to really get that. I'm immersed in this.
Yeah.
So support structures, I feel, if you know, in my circumstance, even seeing uncles, aunties, it's guys, as my hobbies. You know, even if you think of my hobbies, support him. If he picks up a guitar and he says, I want to be a superstar, put everything behind that. I used to play a lot of football back in primary, a little bit in high school as well. And I kid you not, I mean, people think I gas myself up, but I'm pretty convinced that I had the right support structures. I'm that.
You'll be somewhere right now.
My weekly wages and that.
Oh, weekly wages, yeah.
Those in the tens of thousands, if not hundreds. So it's things like that. Even with with like, you know, writing, creative arts and stuff like that, my advantage is my dad is heavily involved in media and the arts as well.
Yeah.
So he gets it. But I think there's a daring nature in us as in our generation.
Yeah.
You know, we can see something on the TV and say that's gonna be me. But like parents sometimes running a certain reservations. Like, okay, let's do the safe stuff first.
Yeah, let's do the safe
make
stuff.
sure the safe stuff is secure, and then we can do
We
it.
can do, yeah.
You know, but I've always been the sort of kid like, you know what? Screw the safe stuff. Can I cuss on this name? I can't.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can say screw. Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
not,
yeah. I guess mom's up to it. Okay.
Yeah, your mama gonna listen to this, and she.
Oh, my mama definitely shouldn't listen to this. She shouldn't hear me asking about cussing. But yeah, it's things like that where I won't, if I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's different from things like money. Sometimes you're forced to do things that you don't necessarily want to do. But I've always been particular about being true to the integrity of my artistry, being true to the integrity of my person. I fancy myself a very soulful person.
Yeah.
So I said we feel like vibe and
How do you feel about testing it?
I'm starting to feel like testing it. You know, so it's always, let's do the safe stuff first. I'll give you an example. I always rant about this. And that wasn't so much on my parents, more on school.
Okay.
The school I went to, and I would like to believe it was the same for a lot of high schools. You got to must have been maybe Form 2. You get to a point where now you have to be, you know, split into different. You're classed basically.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's like a funny science class,
Okay.
with a commercials class, with a arts
Yeah, the
class,
arts, yeah.
and they rank like that. It's 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Then very okay. Then I'm a 1. You know,
The clever, the okay, and
then like
yeah,
yeah,
it's late.
it's it's okay.
yeah, okay.
So being the sort of person I am in my archetype, I'm supposed to be in an arts class because that's who I am. That's what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
That comes naturally to me. But I worked my ass off to be in the science.
The science class, yeah.
You know, and of course, like backing, well done, but no, it's not who I am. And I think there are a lot of similarities, even in the household, where it's not that they don't support us, but sometimes they fail to recognize that there's value in the arts. There's value in whatever arts, you know, speaking as a metaphor, whatever that represents for you.
Yeah.
See that value.
You know, now that you said it, I just remembered. You know, in upper 6, I studied, for my A-levels, I studied economics, accounts, and business studies. I shouldn't have been studying that.
But that makes sense for you with the nature of your work.
No, but then before, bro, like, computers were my thing.
Okay.
Computers were my thing.
Yeah.
I remember one of my teachers, Mr. Somerai, saying to me,
Mr. What?
Mr. Somerai?
Mr. What?
Somerai.
Is that Shona?
No, it's not Shona.
I just want to make sure. Right?
No, Mr. Somerai.
Mr.
We used to call him Mr. Soms or Desom. So Mr. Soms says to me, dude, you're really good with computers.
Yeah.
I don't think your combination is what you're supposed to be doing. But because, you know, I was coming from a home where they were expecting big things, they were thinking, you know what, like, look, you doing economics, accounts, business studies, you know, you're going to become a chartered financial analyst and whatever else.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But I was really in love with computers back then. I loved business, yes, but I loved computers.
Yeah.
So I should have been doing like computer science but then also the subjects that we had at my school, because I went to Midlands Christian College, like we had Pitman exams, of which Pitman exams were associated with people that have failed. If you fail, you know, A's, then you go for Pitman, you do Pitmans.
Yeah.
But crazy enough, if computers were at Pitman's, I should have done computer science then.
Sure.
Because I then went on to university where I studied cyber forensics, information security and management. But what did I do in high school? Economics, accounts, and business studies. So now I had to do a whole foundation year. The good thing is foundation year was still your first year.
Yeah.
So then the next year you would join, you know, you'd be now in second year with everyone else.
Yeah.
But because I didn't have the background, you know, any computer background whatsoever, that's what I ended up studying. And I was just like, oh, You know, and I don't think our parents even understand like when your tastes change. Because I went to uni, I was studying cyber forensics, and then from cyber forensics I was like, no man, I just realized that what I'm studying is gonna give me a job to sit behind a computer and whatever.
Yeah, just
and
get into the rat race.
You know, that wasn't my thing. I remember failing one subject, and then the unit coordinator called me in and he's like, oh yeah, now you failed and everything. And I lied. I gave them some excuse about how there was stuff going on at home and everything. And then I had to rewrite that subject, and I passed, but then I was not happy. And I think when my mom, I feel like I even started going through some mental health issues back then.
Yeah.
I feel like only when my mom then decided to actually start listening to me, I've been happy ever since. Because then I dropped cyber forensics. I started doing business. And business has become a part of me. It's a huge part of me. That's what I do. That's what I love. I live, I breathe, I eat business.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. You know, I don't have to go for math classes. I don't have to do computational mathematics 4 times a week. I don't need to do that. Yeah. I compute math in my head.
Yeah.
I am good with figures in my head. But seeing them on paper or trying to plot a graph and using this, I'm just like, bro, that's not me.
Yeah.
So with my parents, with my mom, it was my mom who hopped onto the wagon first. You know, she was just like, son, as long as you're happy.
Yeah.
And that's what changed everything, because now I started doing whatever I wanted. And at this point now, because now I was now fending for myself. I was now funding myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, even if they wanted to tell me like, yo, you can't do ABCD, I'm like, is it your money? Is it your money? You know, obviously I wouldn't say that to my parents, but it was like, yo, you know, it's my money now. Like, this is my life. I'm now taking charge of my life. I'm taking control of my life. And I was at that age where, you know, I was actually dating girls seriously, and I even wanted to get married. I wanted to get married at 23, 24. And I felt like, you know, I was good to go.
I wanted to get married at 21.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking.
No, you know what? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong, because
nothing wrong with it, but it's just makwi.
If you're ready, bro, if you're ready, you're ready. It is
makwi. Listen to me, makwi. If you don't know what that means,
no, but
Google it.
Well, the question is, were you ready at 21?
You know, I think. I honestly think I'm ready now.
Were you ready at 21? That was the question. I didn't say, are you ready now? You're not 21 no more.
I think, nah. No.
Yeah, exactly. Because you see, the thing is, when we're 21, it's like, oh, you know, this is me for now. Yeah, you can take care of you.
Yeah.
But the question is, can you take care of another human being first? That being your wife.
Yeah.
And then the little humans. That's where the question comes, because, you know, Pampers are not that cheap.
And they're not cheap.
They're very expensive, you know that,
Pampers are a good reminder.
They're
you know,
when
I do grocery shopping, I just remind myself.
Like, not yet.
Please behave.
Please behave. Yeah, man. So yeah. So, but anyway, when I started feeling like I'm happy, was when my parents started to support what I wanted to do.
I think that's a big thing. I've always said, I mean, now I understand, you know, I understand their circumstance, the what informs the manner in which they live and how they perceive certain things. And to be fair, I think for most of our parents, they didn't have the privilege to be talking to their parents the way they talk to us.
True.
You know, my dad always uses that as an example. Like, you can sit with me. Like I say Dave to my dad. You know, people always like, why are you saying Dave to your dad?
Yeah.
Like, I talk to him, he's my nigga. You know, that's how I talk to him. It's like, I couldn't do that with your seguro. You know, you had to. That's what I say. Very, very
like bye.
You know,
like dirty.
there was a heaviness about it. So I understand, you know, them having to go through that transition with us.
Yeah.
There's certain things that they're learning because they weren't equipped, they weren't taught by their parents.
Yeah.
Nana Sekuru Nana, which is always very weird though, you know, because when I look at all my grandparents are late, bless their souls, but, you know, before they passed, the sort of relationship I had with them, like the cool people, like I could sit down and your son is just stressing me out.
He's stressing me out.
You know, I could have those sort of conversations with my grandparents. They were just, you know, maybe came with old age, but anyways, I wanted to say, I feel that aside, I think it's very important for not only parents. There's a statement that says, all is fair in love and war.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to relationships, sometimes, there's this crazy story we're talking about I don't want to mention his name. The pastor and his family and
yeah.
Okay, I'm joking. I clown too much. But anyways, relationships are so difficult. There's no wrong feeling. There's no right feeling, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
I think
educate us.
I think sometimes we focus a lot more on people's reactions than we do on what triggers certain reactions.
Okay, cool.
So for instance, in this pastor, I hate to be talking about people's affairs though. I'll just use this as an example. I extend my heart to them.
Yeah.
Because they.
Do you want to let it go?
I'm gonna let it go. These are people we know. I'm gonna let it go. But there's certain reactions that happen when people react a certain way, and sometimes that will be. If you and I were to get into a fight, then all of a sudden
smack
I'm like,
you, but okay.
That's aggressive, violence. You choose violence.
Hey man, I'm the most peaceful person there is on this planet.
Damn, bro. I'm close to Generation Z. We're all about vibes, bro. We're all about vibes. Positivity.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just like Zen-like.
Oh, Zen-like?
Zen-like.
Zen SHALdo?
Bro.
Okay.
What do you think? Hey, let me not talk about that one.
SHALdo likes to talk about a lot of things he's not supposed to talk about. I don't know what...
Do you know what? We have these conversations and they're unfiltered and we just talk. But now it's a podcast and a lot of people are talking, and some of these people that I know. Or people that...
Yeah, exactly.
Or people I know. Yeah.
I'm trying to get paid, guy. I'm trying to get paid. And you're trying to get paid. So if I were you, I'll control myself.
A podcast and I can say whatever I want to say.
But who's listening?
You handle the
Cool.
damage.
What if I handle the damage? That's gonna affect my pocket.
There's nothing I ever say about people that I wouldn't say to their faces.
That's my motto.
Yeah,
that's my motto.
It's just sometimes you want to protect how people then react towards them.
Yeah, that's true. But nah, guys, don't worry. We will give you the most raw experience as it is. I can't believe I just talked about my family just like that in Jay. Just put it out there I've got half brothers. Yeah, step brothers. Hey, what?
Andrew beheaded those girls, bro. You told us.
Yeah, I did.
How many were there?
I think there were like 4 Barbie dolls.
That knows, met that guy.
Listen, no.
It starts somewhere.
You know what? It's crazy. I'm actually thinking about it now. Wait, hold on. I'm actually thinking about it now that you've said it.
Yeah.
Now that you've said it, I'm actually thinking about, we've talked about having parents and everything, right? Cool. But, how would you handle someone like being with someone who never had their mom or dad or both parents, and they've got those issues? They say daddy issues, mommy issues, all that. How would you handle that? Do you think you could ever be with anyone like that?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. Funny enough, most of the girls I've dated had underlying daddy issues.
Okay.
So there's certain. Not to gas myself up, but there's certain patterns that I can see in girls even before we get into it.
Before you get into it, yeah.
Just the manner in which they behave,
yeah.
or just energy, So there's certain patterns you observe, and then as you get to know her, as you get to ask some of these things and probe, you realize, okay, so that I wasn't really around, or that I passed away, but yeah, I think I would, and. I suppose I give credit to my parents.
Okay.
My parents were there. They're human beings. They have their shortcomings, but they were there. They play their part. I think a lot of what I have, all the goods about my character, my person. Hey, I gotta give it to my parents. So I think I would be able to handle that. And I think also having my dad in my life it showed me what's needed, you know, and the way he relates with my sister, like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what if you're dating a girl who then makes it seem as if her daddy leaving or her not growing up with her dad for whatever reason is your fault? Then what?
My fault?
Yeah, your fault.
My fault?
Yeah, your fault. Through their actions, because I've been I think in 2 or 3 relationships where these girls didn't grow up with their dads, and everything just seemed like, you know, I was getting punished for daddy not being there.
I think I get what you're saying. There's a defensive mechanism that then happens where you if you can't trust your own dad, why should you trust him?
Exactly. That now becomes my problem.
Yeah.
But then, are you not supposed to? Do you think that girls who have that issue should stay away from relationships in case they damage someone's son?
I don't think they should stay away from relationships. It's just they should be able to recognize that they have things they need to work through.
Okay.
You know, that stem from that fractured relationship. And I don't think they should be hard on themselves. It's not their fault.
It's not their fault, yeah.
And it's whatever resentment or bitterness they carry, it's always going to be projected to the next man until they finally solve it. So, you know, you've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to be very intentional. I think one of the things that we need to be very particular about is therapy. We shouldn't seek therapy and I'm a one.
Okay.
You know, like if you can have a lifestyle of, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to pay a psychologist. If you can afford one, by all means do so. Okay. But have outlets, you know. You and we talk. We've got other people that we talk to, but just have support systems and people that just you trust, where you can just be like, you know what, God, I'm in a car, or you know, I'm just feeling this way. So I think with such girls, it's first you've got to recognize that. When you recognize that, then, and I mean, you know, scenarios are they're different. You know, your circumstance, how you handle is going to be different from girl A, you know, girl A and girl B. It's going to be different.
Yeah, now thinking about it also, you know, and it's not just girls, it's also guys who grew up without their moms, and then all of a sudden it's like,
I think it's worse in guys.
It's worse in guys because girls, like, I've heard girls actually say, you know, this guy really wants me to mother him. You know, like those issues, and you know, I feel like, you know, guys, if you're listening to this, I'm just gonna say to you guys, let's do the best we can to not bring children into this world if we're not ready for them. Let's make, if we do that, then let's make sure that if we're going to co-parent or whatever it is, whatever the arrangement is, you know, let's just step up, let's take responsibility for our actions, and let's be better parents, because I see a lot of people with so many issues. I've been with people with issues. I have friends with issues because of their parents or A, B, C, D. This happened to me when I was younger, and it's not a pretty sight at all, because yeah, man, like people are damaged.
Yeah.
People are damaged. It then, you know, like just even, you know, the self-esteem is just not there. You know, if you grew up in a house where you were being told you amount to nothing and everything, the self-esteem is just on zero.
Yeah.
You know, and then you go out and then you've got a crazy world that we have now, you know, where we live in the internet age, where you go on Twitter, you share your opinion, you might even get bashed for feeling some type of way.
Sometimes you're fighting with a robot.
You know, you're fighting with a robot or whatever it is you're doing, and it's like you've got no peace.
Yeah.
And then when you then come to, you know, a place of peace with someone, now it's like you're taking it out on them, or you're like, you can't even believe it. You can't believe, like, you know, the peace is actually real. It's happening.
Yeah.
You know, someone actually cares for you. Guys, like, there's so many issues. I could go on and on, but I'm just saying, like, guys, if you decide to bring a kid into this world, then make sure you give them the best of, you know, just give them the best of you and your partner or whoever you're going to be co-parenting with, because it really affects kids. Because I don't know how we're going to manage to, you know, build a better generation than us if we're broken. And and you know, we just gotta be real with ourselves. You know, we gotta fix ourselves, because sometimes I feel like, you know what, our parents are right. Every time I got my heart broken by any girl, I used to think about my mother saying, translating to, don't just rush to get into relationships. You're not gonna benefit anything like if you're not ready. And I see it now.
You get jack shit.
You know, I see it now because, you know, they always used to say all these things. And the craziest thing, anytime I feel like I'm going astray, if I remember all the lessons my parents taught me, and I go back to the basics, everything makes sense.
I agree.
Everything balances out.
I agree.
Everything balances out. And it's not about them being old-fashioned or whatever. Yes, some of the things may be outdated, but if only you have
the principles apply.
Yeah, the principles apply. Unless there's now a better way of doing a certain thing, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But the principles, the base, the foundation is there.
Sure.
Which is, you know, what that's something we have to watch out for when we have our kids, because the foundation, once you've got that solid foundation.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever met someone who's just so loving? So loving, you're like, how?
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Someone so loving, so giving, and all that. Those are things that are groomed, like they're groomed.
Yeah.
Like they're literally, you're taught to love the next person.
I think, you know, now I really feel like, well, my parents, I think they did a pretty splendid job, and I think they're still doing a great job. One of my greatest honors is being a child to my parents, both my parents.
Yeah.
You know, and I know my dad always, particularly my mom, it's a great honor just to be my mother's child because of the sort of woman that she is, because of the sort of heart she has. My dad always tells me this. He always says, I became a man, you know, when I had you. My parents had me out of wedlock.
Okay.
So that was like life changed for them. It was just, you know, it changed. But I look at, as I've grown and as I've interrogated their story, you know, just how they came up, just their history, I realized, but they really didn't have it easy.
Yeah.
But for them to have, you know, to be where they are now, to have done what they've done for me, what they're doing for my siblings.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and I really feel I've always thought that I'll become an even better human being when I have my own children.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of friends that have had babies, and Ongo one was special, you know. Ongo my special human beings because of their children.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. Definitely, I agree with you. Don't rush into it. But I think when it does happen, there's a lot of beauty in like my mom gets mad poetic when she talks about, you know, carrying. Both my parents, they get very, very poetic and mush.
Yeah,
mush.
It must have been a hard time, you know. Obviously, having you out of wedlock and then, you know, still keeping you, and you try. You're just, you know, a little bit awesome, just a bit. just a bit. But you're right. Yeah. No, I get it. Well, question to you is, if you were to get a girl pregnant right now, would you keep it, or would you rather have her get an abortion?
I would keep the child.
You keep it?
I would keep the child.
Why would you keep it now? Okay, so at what age would you not keep it? Or you'd still keep it, whatever the age?
How old am I? I'm 23.
Yeah.
I'd keep a child now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd keep a child, but I think I'd be very particular about the circumstances that I'm gonna raise the child. If it's a girl that I really don't see a future with, like, yeah, let's take care of this
See,
kid.
that's where my problem is. Right? How are you guys making babies with someone that you don't really see a future with?
None of these things happen.
Oh, they happen. Is that the excuse now? Is that what they're saying these days?
Listen, I am not speaking on myself. This is a whole different conversation now.
I'm just asking.
My gosh, my parents should not listen to this podcast.
No, I'm asking because, you know, like, I feel like we need to normalize letting our kids know that, look, we're here for you. We're here for you. You know, like, I remember my mom saying to me, one of my cousins got pregnant when she was 16. And I remember, and at this point, I was like, what? I was 13, 14? And my mom says to me, Manang, okay, it's some kind of numb. mzukuru wedu tunachengeta. Translating to, if you ever get a girl pregnant, don't worry, I will keep my grandkid. Like, we will take care of our grandkid.
You take care of your life.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, don't worry, we're here for you. Yeah. So I feel like that makes it easier. So that, like, even if you then do whatever you do, and then no matter how big a mistake you think it is, you know, you've got that support system that's gonna, you know, that's gonna help you keep that life, and, you know,
which I think is beautiful because, you know,
because these things happen. Like, I mean, obviously, like, generation has changed. Like, I know probably, like, look, I only started doing certain things when I was in, like, what, Form 4, upper 6. My little brother, like, even like,
we're talking about babies, bro.
No, man, I'm not talking about babies. I'm just talking certain things that my little brother was now doing in Form 1 when he was, things that I did when I was 18, my little brother was doing when he was 14.
I'm a tired of my riddles and but
leave me alone, bro. Leave me alone. But you know what I mean? But
I know what you mean.
But now it's like, I sit there and I'm like, a lot of things happen. Yeah. Kids become more experimental. Things are starting to be normalized. Things that used to shock us then are like, oh, okay, cool. It's like now the norm. So these things are in our faces. We need to educate our kids. We need to, you know, hey, look, you know, use a condom. Do this, you know, like, hey, if this happens, let someone know. If you end up being naughty or whatever, you know, so that they know what's going on. Because kids will be kids. They will do whatever the hell they want to do. And you can't run away from it.
Sure.
You can't.
Question.
Yeah.
Did you ever have the girlfriend talk with either of your parents? Just like before 18.
Well, funny story. My parents figured out by default when I was in grade 7 that I had a girlfriend. So what happened is, so, you know, like back in the day, I think that was like, what, 2004, 2003?
Yeah.
My parents got me a contract line. So I used to call.
You told me that story.
Yeah, I used to call one number.
Yeah.
I used to call one number. And that bill was always more than my mom and my dad's bills. Combined. So my mom says to me, who exactly will you be calling?
Yeah.
And whatever. So the printout for the bill came. They noticed dad's workplace, mom's phone, dad's phone, and this one number.
Yeah.
You know, 68925. I remember that.
You remember the number?
68925. 68925. So my parents were like, who will you be calling?
Yeah.
And the one time, my mom called the number. She's like, nah, enough is enough. You know, contract lines are really expensive. Like, what is this? You know, this grade 6 kid busy calling more than us. And then she's like, oh yeah, like, I just want to find out, my son is always calling this number. Like, who is this? And it was my girlfriend then who actually picked up. So mom had an idea. She didn't think it was that deep, but I ended up moving to high school and I was still dating the same girl up until like Form 2.
Yeah.
So I dated from grade 6 until Form 2, I think. Yeah. Grade 6 until Form 2, I was dating the same girl. And then my mom always used to say, like, you know, just stay away from this girlfriend, boyfriend stuff. Like, it won't help you in life. You know, right?
Even during the relationship.
During the relationship. Mom was always against relationships because she just thought it was a big distraction. For me, I was like, you know what, I'm all about my sport and my girl. You know, like, school was something that I did out of respect for my parents. You know, but
about it.
I wasn't really about school.
It was different for me, eh?
Okay.
My dad never wanted to talk about it, so he'd always be like, you know, talk to your mom. Push me to the side, talk to your mom. Until a certain age, but my mom was always cool with it for as long as she knew the person. Okay. So much so, I've got plenty of memories of actually, you know, inviting my girlfriend over to the house.
Oh,
the parents would see her, we'd have a meal together.
That's cool.
And there were even moments, I always laugh about this. There were even moments we'd be left alone in the house. You know, parents do whatever they do. That's how much they trust me.
Wow.
Like a trustworthy child. They're responsible.
Dude, I would, even at your age now, I wouldn't leave you in my house with a girl, bro. What? Yeah, it's crazy. Like, yeah. For me, it was recent when I introduced dad to any girl that I ever did. Dad didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to say, you know, there's a haircut of yours with the way you want it specifically done. This is for the girls, you know, like, I know you got the girls going on, but I was like, nah, I'm good, until I introduced my dad to my girlfriend, and he's like, Okay, cool. So that's the first time I ever broke the ice. Like, yo, dad, I've got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then mom has met 2.5 of my girlfriends.
What do you mean 2.5?
Because she met one, and then we broke up like literally a couple, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later.
It counts.
No, that's a half.
She's not a half person.
That's a half, and then
2.5.
yeah, mom then met 2 others, but yeah, and out of that, mom loves one, and I think she will forever love one. So
Exposing yourself now, huh?
no, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, mom will forever love that one girl, and it is what it is.
I'm in a bit of a dilemma now.
Alright.
So my mom loves not my recent ex, the one
before.
That they could talk on the phone for hours. They're buddies.
That's what I mean.
Which is
forever. That forever kind of love, like, yo.
And I'm always telling her, Ma,
it's time to let go.
It's time to let go.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Fortunately, her and I are cool, but I'm just like, Moms, please. that's
crazy. That's crazy.
The bygones be bygones.
But anyway, I pray we become a better generation of parents. I pray for better parenting. We've seen this world, like, let's get our kids well equipped. Let's be able to give them what they want. Also, I feel like in us not being able to provide, I was saying this to my parents the other day. I was like, so my mom is a saver. My mom saves so much money.
Yeah.
Dad is a half spender, half saver type thing, right? And I was saying to my mom and my dad, I was saying to mom, actually, I said to mom, you can't send my little sister to a private school and give her the same budget as you would get when you were going to school. You hear what I'm saying? Because things are different. It has to be more. Things are different, Like, I said this to her. I was like, you know what? As much as some people I know some people have a problem with me saying this, but it is what it is, right? Because, like, I haven't been on both ends, but I know I've got friends who used to tell me, like, back in 2008, right? There was bread shortages and whatever else that was happening in Zimbabwe, right?
Yeah.
So we used to. I remember getting into the dining hall the one morning, and we had like 3 different types of cereal and porridge to choose from. You choose whether you want to have bacon and eggs and toast.
We need to have sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
We need to have a podcast where we talk about education. And I'm very passionate about education. I love knowledge. But the manner in which the school system is working.
Okay, cool.
But anyways, I've always said, like, with your sort of group A schools, guy, I'm getting my colony.
Okay.
In fact, there's still colonies, low key. I'm not like. In fact, you know what? If you think I'm bashing them, heck, I'm bashing them. Colonies, low key.
Okay.
It's an entirely different world, and sometimes I worry. Okay, I'm not bashing them, but sometimes I worry that we want the best for our children. We give them the best education, but in giving them the best education, they're so divorced from what's happening in Zimbabwe. No, but they're in their little world.
No, but then that's not
on the child.
No, and that's not on the school either. That's not on the school either.
A little bit.
No, that's not on the school either.
A little bit.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Right. General etiquette, right? I'll tell you. General etiquette in Group B schools was basically almost not there, right? In Group A schools, it was a thing, right? But at the same time, you've got people from Group B schools that had etiquette, for like a kid that went to an A school. Why? Yeah. That goes back to your parents, your own situation.
Yeah.
So for me, dude, I am hella exposed.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to listen to Linkin Park and I used to play PlayStation when I was in grade 2. That was 99, 2000. I had a PlayStation and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's the life I grew up. Yeah. Like we used to on Fridays, we used to make go-karts.
Yeah.
right? And you can understand with our skin color. So, no, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm not done.
Yeah.
I used to make go-karts.
Yeah.
I can sing Linkin Park 1, 2, and 3. Those first 3 albums inside out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, guess what? I used to get home, lunch at my friend's place. Yeah, we would have chicken mayo sandwich and a bit of capsicum and whatever. I'll get home for lunch sometimes. I could have the same thing. Or mom would be like, no, we're eating salsa and natto. Or this. So it was my mom's duty to then balance me. I'm getting this kind of stuff, but at the same time, this is now life.
That's true.
So that's how I know. You can bath in a bucket with cold water.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So that's got nothing to do with the school. Because,
Listen, the school is not responsible in grooming you and making sure you're exposed.
Yeah.
But when you've got things like, don't speak Sean. We only speak in English. You know, they
Don't speak.
Let's do a separate podcast on education.
But, hey, I can fight you on that. I can fight you on that.
Go ahead.
I can fight you on that because, see, I was in Set 1 English and I was also in Set 1 Shona. Like, I speak Shona at home, right? They're still teaching us Shona. Everyone has to learn Shona. But the thing is, majority of the language that you're going to be speaking when you're outside of school is what? Is English. So you can't struggle in the one language you're going to be using everywhere. Do you get what I'm saying? And again, got home, mom, Shona lessons straight.
Yeah.
I remember the
but
one time.
But why are you doing Shona lessons outside of school? So
Because it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
Why is it not enough?
Excuse me, how many hours of Shona did you do?
No, it's not about the hours,
Exactly.
man. It's not about the hours. I feel like there's certain things about us as a people that we. I agree for the most part. I really feel these things need to be taught within the households, from home.
Okay.
Yeah, but
because
I'm trying to look for. I really don't want to sound like I'm bashing schools. If anything, I'm bashing certain private school going people and the homes they come from. Because it's
because like you see the same way I had friends that could speak hella Shona, deep Shona, but when they got back home, they went for English private lessons, English lessons, right? Same thing. When I got home, I used to go for Shona lessons. It's just us growing up in two different places.
Either way, like, why is there an inadequacy from the school? Like, why? And I'm against extra lessons. Extra lessons are a bad and terrible thing. We don't need that. No,
but then, like, bro, like, it's the same thing.
When you're outside of school, like kids, if you're not doing your homework or assignments or whatever the heck you need to do, play.
Can I ask you something?
Live life.
Were your Shona, were your maths books, science books, were they written in Shona?
Good question.
Exactly. Now we'll leave it there. Anyway, guys, look. Oh wow, it's been an hour. You know, it's been a great chat. You know, these talks are not. They're not structured. They're always random, and we're just talking. We're just having conversation because we want to keep it as real as it is. But thank you for listening. It's been an hour now. I had a feeling we're over an hour, so we gotta say goodbye. But okay, you guys go back and listen to episode 1 and 2 if you haven't. This is episode 3. And watch out next Wednesday for episode 4. Thank you so much. I love doing these things for you guys, and I love having SHALdo here. It's very controversial, this boy, but it's always a pleasure just being able to do what we do and just be real with you guys and let us know what you think. And I guess probably the next topic we're actually going to talk about education because somebody seems we've got to talk very salty. But anyway, from me, I am Audi. It's Will K out here. Oh yeah, my social media handle is actually at Willard Kachere. That's at WILLARDKACHERE. That's across any social media platform. And then if you want to find me on Snapchat, it's just Will K. I don't know. Do you want to give the people your handle?
Before I do that, I'm realizing there's a lot we forgot. I wanted to ask you quite a lot here.
Okay.
You've been quite active on your socials. There was the influence video, but I think the big one, just in conclusion as well, there's something you put up, and just a prayer type thing, talking about the circumstance with COVID-19. Again, we can't emphasize enough. stay home.
Definitely.
If you need to, make sure by all means you social distance whenever you're out. Wear your mask, wash your hands as regularly as possible, sanitize. We're having this conversation to be socially distanced, which feels weird, but it's very necessary. So be safe out there. And to anybody who might have lost a loved one or a friend, it's very difficult times, dark times, but our love, our hearts go out to you.
Yeah, no, definitely prayers up to everybody. Yeah, I know I've got one of my friends who just lost her mom this morning, and like social media today, I think I scrolled like first 4 posts with just condolences and all that. Like, guys, and I keep seeing this statement, the numbers are turning into people we know. I used to be that one person who was on the forefront, like I was leading the bandwagon, like, you know what, if I die, I die. Then someone said to me, but then if you die today, what have you really achieved? What are you going to leave behind for the people that are that are staying behind? Do you think it's necessary for you to not be responsible enough to take the precautions, but leave people with with a hole in their hearts? I was like, yeesh, that's deep, innit? It's very deep. So and that, like, with that being said, I'm just gonna
hold on.
Okay,
I forgot my socials.
Okay.
@_SHALdo, please. My Twitter looks sad, guys. We started that account from scratch.
I don't know why this boy read my flow. I was really in there. But
yo, peace and love.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. Until next Wednesday.